Alright, in this video we're going to talk about scientific notation, and specifically writing numbers in scientific notation. So scientific notation is a way of making big numbers look smaller. Neither of our two example numbers are that big, but scientific notation can be used with really big things like the number of atoms in the universe, or really small things like the size of a cell in your body. So these are just two regular type examples. They're not going to be too extreme, but we are going to put them into scientific notation. And the first thing to do is to take your to take your number, and I'm going to rewrite this without the comma, because the comma tends to mess me up. So I'm going to rewrite this as 138432. And I see that in a number like 138,432, my decimal point is presumed to be at the end. So this is where my number ends. And using scientific notation means we want to move that decimal point, and we want to move it a specific number of times. We want to move it until our number is a number that's in between 1 and 10. So if I take my decimal point and I move it one time, I would now have the number 13,843.2. That's not small enough. It's not between 1 and 10. If I move it another time, I now have 1,384.32. That's still not small enough between 1 and 10, so I'll move it again. Now I've got 138.432. Again, not small enough. I'm going to keep going. One more movement, 13.8432. We're almost there, but we're still not between 1 and 10, so I'm going to move it over one more time. And here is 1.38432. So that I know is what I want. So I'm going to rewrite this number as 1.38432. It's important to keep all of your numbers in there. And then I'm going to call my scientific notation times 10. So all our scientific notation includes the phrase times 10. And up in my exponent of the 10, I'm going to write down how many times I moved my decimal point. So I can count the little hoop shapes I've made down here, the little divots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements. So this got 5 movements. That means that I'm going to make it 10 to the 5th. So 138,432 is written in scientific notation as 1.3842 times 10 to the 5th power. Let's try that again over in 523. So 523 isn't that big a number, but that actually makes it easier to write in scientific notation. We assume our decimal point starts at the end of our number for 523, and we're going to start moving it. So if I move it one time, I get 52.3, and that's not small enough yet because it's not between 1 and 10. If I move it another time, now it's 5.23, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to write 5.23, and I'm going to use my scientific notation of times 10, since we're telling how many times we moved our decimal point. We count the times we moved our decimal point, 1, 2, so it's to the 2nd power. So 523 is written in scientific notation as 5.23 times 10 to the 2nd power.